friends, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Fort Worth Roots. Fresh out of the Army. Fit, 25, 26 years old. I should have been able to beat Oprah's time.
Maybe she was running downhill and you were.
That's what I tell people. She must have been running downhill. She had to have been.
Hey, just think, if she does it again now, you will beat her.
Now it's worse for me. She's probably in better shape than I am now.
Okay.
You can find Fort Worth Roots on all of your favorite streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and many more. We are on the website, fortworthroots.com, and it is Fort Worth Roots on all social media platforms. We're very active on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Stay tuned to the very end of this episode. We're going to tell you about all of our events that we got coming up and more information about all of our wonderful sponsors helping us put on free shows for you with local musicians at small businesses all over Fort Worth. Whenever you see the Fort Worth banner next to an event that's happening here in our city, know that cover has been paid by these sponsors. You can also go to our website, fortworthroots.com, hit the Trusted Sponsors tab, and see all the people that are helping us take care of our neighbors here in the Fort Worth community. We just brought the Davis team on as a sponsor of the Fort Worth Roots podcast, and they are helping us bring the October 5th event to you free of charge, no cover whatsoever. This year we are going to have 6 bands on stage. We're aiming for 70 vendors. 2 blocks are going to be shut down right there at Pouring Glory. Again, this is October 5th from noon until 10 o'clock. 6 bands on stage, vendor market, and it does benefit Cook Children's Hospital. A portion of the proceeds from the vendor market is going to Cook Children's, and Fort Worth Roots is going to be donating $5 for every single one of you that comes out to the event and signs up for our mailing list. So $5 for every person that shows up to 300 people. So come on out. You don't have to spend a dime. We do encourage you to enjoy some of the ice-cold beer on tap, the wonderful award-winning food at Pouring Glory, and just enjoy yourself. But you do not have to spend $1 in order to help us raise money for Cook Children's Hospital. And we're doing this year instead of spending money on swag. Last year, we had all sorts of stuff, goodie bags and whatnot. This year, we said, you know what? Why don't we take that money and put it towards Cook Children's? We want to support this amazing 501c3, and we need your help to do it. But instead of spending money on frivolous stuff that might end up in the back of your junk drawer anyway, we're going to take $5 for each person that comes out. So help us October 5th at Pouring Glory from noon to 10 o'clock. Enjoy the 6 bands that we have on stage. You can find more information on our social media. There is also an event on Facebook, events. And I think that if you just type in October 5th, Pouring Glory, something to that effect, it will pop up for you. And all the pertinent details are on that. We do have a lineup with all of our bands that will be performing on that stage there on our social media sites. Also, at the end of today's episode, we have a voicemail recording from Roy Davis. If you don't know who that is, you will. Roy Davis just moved to Fort Worth, Texas, and he is getting ready to drop some extra awesome, wonderful, very exciting content on the interwebs. That's Roy Davis at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. And we have a special announcement from the Fort Worth Public Library, Amplify 817, and the Fort Worth Fire Department. They have teamed up to bring you CPR training. I'm doing a bad job of explaining this. Let's hear from Francisco Aguilar from Amplify 817 in the Fort Worth Public Library. Roll it.
Hey, Andrew. This is Francisco from the Fort Worth Public Library, and I just wanted to share an exciting opportunity for your listeners to learn some life-saving skills at libraries across Fort Worth. We've partnered with the Fort Worth Fire Department to offer free hands-only CPR and AED training at multiple libraries. From September 29th through October 4th, these classes are designed for teens and adults, and the classes are only an hour long. So please come out, learn some life-saving skills. CPR is proven to double or triple chances of survival after cardiac arrest. So invite your friends, invite your neighbors, and come on out and learn something good.
That's our friend Francisco over there at the Fort Worth Public Library in Amplify 817. And we want you to learn a little bit about how to save someone's life if their heart stops doing what a heart's supposed to be doing. So anyway, check that out. We'll be posting stuff about this collaboration on our social media. You can always go to the Fort Worth Public Library social media pages, and we will make sure that we do everything we can to support this effort. Sounds like a good deal. You know, we got mad love for the Fort Worth Fire Department and for our public library, and love doing everything we can to support these folks. You might have noticed that there's been a delay in our regularly scheduled programming, but we want you to know that it is for good reason. We've been putting together this October 5th event for you, and there are some huge changes coming to Fort Worth Roots. Kind of biding our time, getting ready to make the big announcement, but we're going to need your support more than ever. So if you like what we've been doing here at Fort Worth Roots, if you want to support us, make sure you give us a follow on social media, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. It's just Fort Worth Roots. And come on out, October 5th. We are trying to build up our email list so that we can tell you through email what's going on in your community. We will not be using your data to share with other companies. Sponsors of the Fort Worth Roots podcast, we will take their information and include it in our monthly newsletter, but it will be kept in-house here at the Fort Worth Roots podcast. So if you'd like to preemptively sign up for that list, it is media@fortworthroots.com. That's our email. And you can tell us, hey, add me to that list, and we'll put you on there. Today's episode was recorded at Boulevard Brew. You can find them off of River Oaks Boulevard. It is business in the front, party in the back. They've got a coffee shop up front as you walk in. And then if you go past the coffee bar, there's a really awesome, very low-key lounge with a full-service bar, beer on draft, wine selections. It's a great place to hang out. They've got an upright piano in there, and they have live music most Fridays, if not every Friday. And it's just a really cool spot. They invited us out to do this live recording in front of an audience. Mama Lou's came out with her tamales, and it was just a great evening of community and hanging out with friends. And our guest for this episode is a gentleman that just finished, at the time of the recording, an ultra marathon. So today he's going to tell us the ins and outs of what training went into that, the struggles that he had along the route, and just the lifestyle that he's been leading as a kind of a motivational speaker online and an ultra marathoner. You can find him on Instagram as Texas Mind, Body, and Spirit. We're also joined in studio today by our buddy Sam from the Failed Podcast. Sam was nice enough to co-host this for us. You can find him on Instagram as _failed_podcast. It's a real honor to do anything with Sam. He's been an avid supporter of the Fort Worth Roots podcast and a good friend of mine for years now. And I just don't think we'd be where we are today without this gentleman. So thank you, Sam, for being a part of this episode. That is enough talking out of me. Thank y'all so much for listening to this episode of the Fort Worth Roots podcast. Please stay tuned to the very end so that you can hear from Roy Davis and the rest of our sponsors. And give it up for our friend, David Armstrong. And let's start the show.
If it wasn't so loud, I wouldn't be mad.
Good though.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with David Armstrong and our stand-in co-host for the evening, Sam from the Failed Podcast. Find them on Instagram as the_failed_podcast. And then our boy David here, Texas Mind, Body, and Soul.
Spirit.
I was so close, man.
So close.
All right, Sam, were you saying your headset's too loud, man?
No, I'm good to go.
Who we got in the back over there? Stuart, can you hear us? How's the volume? Is that too loud? Good? All right, cool. So if y'all caught our last recording, that was with Jorge Arista, a local badass musician here in the Fort Worth area. And that will be the episode right before this one. I don't know what number that is, but okay. So we're here at Boulevard Brew today. We've got a live studio audience. You guys give us a round of applause. Yeah.
That's a good turnout.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a great turnout. Thank y'all so much for being here. And shout out to Brad at Boulevard Brew for allowing us to do this evening. Excellent way to spend a Friday. Yeah, thank you, Brad. And we got Renee here, our local photographer. What's going on, brother? How are you? Yeah. Big round of applause for Renee. He is a local photographer, and he does a lot of work with local publications and has taken some photographs for the Fort Worth Roots podcast as well. Yeah, thank you for being here. All right, let's get into it, David. So I was trying to call you up earlier. I was like, okay, we got David Armstrong. He is an ultra marathoner and a hyper-local Fort Worth influencer. And you were just like, that works.
I'll take it.
Well, frame it up for me better than move that mic just a little closer to your mouth.
My bad.
No, you're all good.
Better?
Yes, sir.
Right on.
Just want to make sure we hear the most important person in the room right now.
I don't know about all that. Motivational person, I guess.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, social influencer, something like that of the type.
Because you're on Instagram, I feel like at least 2-3 times a day doing something motivational through your Instagram post that's happening right here in Fort Worth.
I generally wake up around 2:30 every morning, and then I do the first post for Cheers and Good Morning, just to get everybody kind of in a positive mindset, just to get ready for the day. And then I'll do one for my workout or run. And then some more cardio with my dog, and then another one for art after, for like spreading good vibes.
What's your dog's name?
Olivia.
Olivia, how old's Olivia?
I don't know.
What kind of dog you got there?
Chocolate Lab mix.
Oh, I love labs.
Yeah. She's a good dog.
So just recently, was this the biggest, longest run you've done so far?
This was a 50K ultra, trail ultra actually.
So it's like 25 miles?
31.
31 miles.
31 miles, and then we went all the way up to 25 elevation.
Okay.
So we were literally climbing mountains.
Damn, dude.
And it was the hottest day of the year that far. It was a heat index of 102.
Damn. And you had some issues during the run, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Well, not issues. It was more pertaining with the heat.
Sure. Yeah.
Like a lot of people didn't even complete it because of that factor.
Right.
I generally am around 155 pounds. When I left and I got back to the house, I was 139. So I lost a lot of weight. Threw up 3 times during it.
So you're telling me when you started you were at 155, when you finished you're at 139?
Yes.
So you literally lost 16 pounds in a day?
Yeah.
It's not fair, right? Some things are not fair.
I'm joking. I don't recommend it.
That came through a lot of pain. I was just joking.
I mean, fair doesn't really touch it, dude. That's barbaric.
Yeah, it was rough. I'm not gonna lie. But hey, I'm alive.
Sam, what's
clearly.
the furthest you've ever ran, dude?
Oh, we're not talking about
Okay, we're not in it. Okay, so I did
not 31 miles.
I did a 26.2 in Seattle.
Okay.
That's respectable.
That was the first and last time I ever did that.
I hear that a lot.
It's a murder.
I hear that a lot.
I made it to 18 miles, and I hit the wall.
Yeah.
You know? And it took me a mile, almost to the foot, for my body to go, okay, all these warning signs I'm giving him, he's not stopping, so I guess I'm just going to give him back his powers.
Yeah.
And it loosened up, and I was able to run again, but it was just the weirdest sensation. And the weird part was whenever my body finally stopped fighting me so that I could continue. That was the weird part.
Yeah.
My body shutting down after 18 miles, that was not weird.
No. Well, you always have to think. I was actually just telling Sam this. The body will quit you first, but the mind won't. So if you can control the mind, you control the body. So you can continuously push forward if you have a strong mindset.
Yeah.
So that's probably where that came from.
Well, and it's the training, right? I mean, you don't just wake up one day and say you're going to run 31-something miles up a grade.
No. I genuinely, when I was in my training camp, I was running about between 30 to 40 miles a week. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It takes, and that was for about 3.5 months.
And I think that for anybody that's never done anything like this, no shade, but
no,
you don't think about how much time that takes. Because to run a mile for like a marathon, like me, I was running 9 to 10 minute miles.
Yeah.
And that's pretty slow. But, it's getting there.
It's fair.
So, but after, say whenever you're training for this, say you go out and you run 10 miles. Mm-hmm. That's nearly that's right at an hour. Yeah. And so that's a lot of time to be committing to training for this thing.
Yeah.
So it's not just you went out, you ran 31 miles. It's all the training that went up to that point to condition your body to get there. That's a huge time commitment.
True.
So how did you find a way to manage that along with work-life balance, all that?
I wake up at 2:30 every morning.
You mentioned that.
That's how. Yeah, and literally before I even got here, I've already prepped everything for tomorrow's training.
Right.
So I'm continuously have to stay on point so I can continue to do the things that I do.
Right.
Because like you said, the biggest downside of what I do is everything takes time.
Yeah.
And I have to make the time. So with that, it has to be some sort of sacrifice. But with that sacrifice, you are able to do the things like I do.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a sacrifice, but I love this life. So it's not really a sacrifice if you love it.
And I feel like people really understand, because you're doing a great job of describing what you do, but I think people really have to go to your Instagram and just see all the content you're putting out, all the motivation that you're getting behind, all the support you're trying to give, not just Fort Worth people. I mean, what you're doing happens here in Fort Worth, but I mean, you're not pigeonholed or bordered by Fort Worth.
No.
You're motivating people across the globe.
Yeah. I thought to a lot of people actually all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just all about, promoting positivity and just being the best possible version of yourself that you can. That's what it's all about.
On this run, the 31-mile run,
Yeah.
your handle is like mind, body, and spirit.
Mm-hmm.
You've been describing kind of what you've done with your body, preparing, and then like throwing up and losing some weight. Well, what about the mind and spirit part of all this? What did you learn about that during that run?
The mind, I mean, I already had a really strong mindset, but I'll tell you a story. It's during the race itself. So I don't remember what lap it was. I don't remember what mile it was because that was kind of a blur, honestly. But I just got done doing one of the laps, and there's a drop-off station, and you can chill out and take a break because you have to. There's no way around it. So I sat in this chair. I was literally hunched over like this, and my mom and her friend was next to her. And I literally said out loud, I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I'm dying, and I'm spitting all over the place.
Yeah.
And 10 seconds later, I get up, and I'm already running. And I'm like, man, I can't do this. I will not allow myself to stop. I will not. I have mission to do, and I'm going to do it. I don't care if this is going to kill me, which it almost kind of did.
Yeah.
But I had to muster the strength and say, no, man, you can't give up. You have to keep pushing forward. And I got out of that chair, and I just kept going. I wasn't running. I was walking. But I eventually started running. So, yeah.
Getting those feet moving again.
Yeah.
Eventually, yeah. It was just
hard.
putting one foot in front of the other, man. And, yeah, I just wanted to finish it, honestly.
In the beginning, the self-talk is pretty like encouraging and motivating. How does it get towards the end? What are you telling yourself? Because by the end, it's pretty grim. Like you're suffering from all angles.
Yeah.
What's the self-talk towards the end when you're about to finish?
It's even worse than you think it is, actually, because genuinely everyone in the race got lost at a certain point. Well, that happened to me. I got lost.
How many miles did you get lost for?
I got lost for a mile. So I passed the 30-mile, and I still had to run another mile, and everyone was cheering me on, thinking that I was already done. And I was like, no, I got lost. I have to make up a mile.
Oh, my God.
And at the time, my brain was so fried, I was like, how long's the ultra? I didn't even know how many miles I had to run. And he said, 31. And I was like, all right, I can do that. And so I just started, I bolted. I just ran the entire thing without stopping. And I just had to keep pushing forward. I was almost there. And I was like, man, you can't stop. You're almost there. You're almost there. And finally crossed the finish line. And, man, you talk about an overwhelming feeling. It's just euphoria. It's just like I did it. And a huge runner high after that. Like, I didn't sleep for like 2 days after that. I'm not even kidding. It was crazy.
How many people left on stretchers, bro?
I don't know.
That is rough.
A lot of people fell out, though.
I mean, with that heat, the elevation, I mean.
Yeah. A lot of people fell out.
You're asking for it.
Yeah. They did have like IV station out there and everything, but by the time I got done, man, I was just like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
Because it took me 9 hours and 31 minutes. But this is my third or fourth ultra I've ran.
Really? Okay,
and
I thought this was your first one.
No. And I genuinely finished them between 5 to 6 hours. Mm-hmm. And I finished this in 9 hours and 31 minutes.
Rough, yeah.
So that's how bad it was.
Yeah.
And I came back, and I was sunburned all over myself. I even had to watch sunburn right here. That's how bad it was. And
well, now you never lose your watch.
Well, that's true.
You got a reminder. You're like, oh yeah, I'm missing something.
Yeah. And I had kind of like a cool tattoo for a little while, a little watch.
Not that this matters. I'm just really curious. What was your average split time
for the pace? I can tell you right now. I think it was not good.
Well, no.
It was not good at all. It was my average pace for it was.
I'll tell you why you're looking that up. I know that my split time and my overall speed for the one marathon I did, I looked it up later. Turned out Oprah Winfrey had ran the same course previously. She beat me by like half an hour. Oof. I'm like, man, fresh out of the Army, fit, 25, 26 years old. I should have been able to beat Oprah's time.
Maybe she was running downhill and you were.
That's what I tell people. She must have been running downhill. She had to have been.
Hey, just think, if she does it again now, you will beat her.
Now it's worse for me. Right. She's probably in better shape than I am now.
Okay. So my average was 18:21.
Damn.
Yeah, and I burned 4,500 calories.
That's amazing. Because that when you finish a race like that, you got the people that are just, they're at a...
Not there.
They're at an... Oh, no?
No.
I remember getting almost lapped in Seattle because the way the course was, you had the people that could split off and do the 13. One way or another, I was at risk of getting lapped, however that course was set up. But you've got the people that will get out there and just run their asses off the entire race, and it's unhuman. It doesn't even make sense to me.
Yeah, not this one.
Not that one.
No. No, there was none of that because I kept telling myself, man, I'm pretty good at this usually, but not today. So, because we were literally climbing up mountains. Like I was having to grab onto trees and just literally pull myself up them. And then...
Now, had you trained for that kind of elevation?
Not that high, because it's not really that
it's hard to
type
do that
of trail
in Fort Worth.
Yeah. But there is kind of mountains. Not really. There's hills.
Yeah.
But you just kind of have to...
What, like Samson Park? That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, that's the closest you're going to get to it. But, over on Trinity, there is some kind of hidden ones.
Okay.
You just had to go kind of find them.
Yeah.
And they get kind of sketchy at sometimes.
Right.
So
some areas.
Yeah. So I won't touch that, but it gets kind of rocky out there sometimes.
Well, I used to. The last time we talked, I used to run the Trinity pretty frequently, and I just haven't in a long time. What? Let's get the State of the Union address on the Trinity River trails. How's that going lately?
In regards to...
Is it looking good? Are they keeping up with it?
They're doing a pretty good job of it. Yeah, good. They're keeping it up with it. Sometimes there's a lot of homeless people, but other than that, it's pretty good.
You got to find a bridge. Didn't they just pass a law that makes it illegal to sleep in public or something like that? There's some law that just got passed.
They come and go.
Really?
The laws come in and they change them. It just matters what season you're in.
Well, this one is supposed to make it wildly complicated for anybody that's like just trying to lay down on a park bench or something. Like, you're going to get a ticket. You might get arrested. Something like that. I don't know. Don't quote me, but it's a new thing, and it's to try to help alleviate all the homeless things. But the problem is, you're not going to legislate homelessness out of our society. There's always going to be people that are suffering. And so the Trinity Trails is a nice, quiet place to get out of the way. Yeah. You don't have as much police presence down there. So
no, and when I'm running, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. So
right.
It's just me and them.
And they're probably out there sleeping.
Yeah. I haven't had any problems in a long time. But besides that, man, it's a beautiful trail. Like, I run with deer. I chase deer all the time.
You got to stop that.
You're scaring
those deer.
Fun.
You're scaring them.
It's too much fun, though. But I get chased by skunks all the time.
I've heard about the skunks. Yeah.
They're my arch enemies. I have to carry bear spray just because of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it gets rough out there.
Well, sometimes. I got a question regarding your running and what you learned.
Okay.
We buy shoes all the time, and everyone's like, I got the best shoes, these and that. But at a certain point, your feet just start hurting, and your feet are so important for running and fitness. What's something that you learned about the health of your feet that could help all of us? I mean, we're not running 31 miles, but we're trying to, stay fit and active.
Maybe. I'm motivated now. I want to go run 31 miles.
So I'm just trying to see what you've learned.
Get something. I'm a huge sneakerhead, so
What's Andrew doing?
Yeah. I
just bought these.
Hoka's? That's a good running shoe.
This is an excellent
I would go with what
shoe.
is comfortable for you. That's what I would go 100%. With. Comfort, as I get a little bit older in age, comfort is better than style sometimes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So especially when you're running.
Looking shoes, but dude, they're so comfortable.
They're Hoka's, man. Those are like third best shoe on the market,
baby.
Yeah.
But have you ever had a moment where maybe you had an injury? I mean, maybe it's not the foot or something else that really hindered you doing a race or finishing a race, but you move past it because you have some insight from having to push your body more than most of us.
Because I run with a specific club, Mammoth Running Club. Yeah. That's who put on the race itself. One of their races, I literally threw my back out the week before the race itself. And I already did all my prep work. I already went to my chiropractor, and I was like, I can't go back again. I've already checked all the boxes off. We've already gone too far. Let's just do this thing. Yeah. So I couldn't even bend over and tie my shoes the day. And I just mustered up the courage, man. I rubbed it's like icy hot on my back, and I was like, all right, man, this is going to suck real bad, but we can do it. I've done so much for us, and it was only, I want to say half marathon. Yeah. So I knew I could do that, but afterwards I laid into bed for like 2 days after that. Eventually I felt a little bit better, but man, it was worth it. I mean, I live for this stuff. I'm in pain 24/7 anyway. Like I had to have a bone removed from this ankle.
What?
So yeah.
What do you mean? How many bones you got? You got extra bones?
It's not. Back in the day, I had a bone break off, and they had to go in and take it out and drill a whole bunch of stuff
out. Back in the day, you just forgot to get it looked at?
No, I had to have surgery and stuff for it. And I had to learn how to walk again twice because of it, actually.
Damn, dude.
And so now when I walk, my spine is like an inch off. So I'm in pain 24/7.
So is this kind of what got you into running? Like, aggressively?
No, not. I was always in fitness.
Yeah. But to this degree?
No, not to this degree.
I think your injury might have had something to do with it, though.
It might have. I mean,
like motivation to, you know what? I'm not going to let this stop me. I'm more than my extra bone.
Yeah. I just, honestly, I just like to push myself until I can find that point where I break. Yeah. And I haven't found that point yet, so I'm just going to keep doing it.
Did you have another activity that you were addicted to before the crazy amount of running?
I did backyard wrestling for like 7 years.
Okay.
Did that. That was crazy. I did a little bit of bodybuilding. I've done judo as well. I've done boxing for 2 years. So I've done a lot of the crazy things. Skydive.
But this is the thing that you've really stuck with the longest.
Yeah, for the longest point, yeah. And it's just like a slow progression. Like I started with, like how normal people do it. I started with the 5K, and then eventually you master that, and then you just keep going and going and going. And then you just want to see how far you can push that envelope.
Right.
And
for me, after I got beat by Oprah, that was it for me.
No, man,
my running career was over.
You got to show Oprah who's boss. Okay?
That's not how it works.
You got to keep pushing.
Harpo Industries will find me and be like, "I heard you trying to break my record. We're gonna have a talk back here."
Okay, you come around with me. I'll teach you some things. Oprah doesn't have a chance. Then.
Well, for the folks that haven't been on your Instagram yet, maybe they're checking it out right now. But your diet is something that we really got to talk about.
Okay.
Because you are very fit.
Well, thank you.
You look like you probably eat nothing but like top of the line, no desserts, no extras. Tell these folks what you do to celebrate a big run, or where does this
pizza?
Where's
pizza and donuts, man. I'm eating pizza and donuts tomorrow. I'm getting 12 dozen donuts.
Excuse me?
I mean, not 12 dozen donuts. I mean, a dozen donuts. So I can't eat 12.
All right, wait.
I'm
Stop
getting
everything.
a dozen donuts, and I'm getting a big old pizza. It's actually part of the process. You got a carb load, and I'm gonna burn all that off, and then I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna eat some more of it the next day. So, yeah. But other than that, that's only on Saturday. Other than that, I do intermittent fasting.
Okay.
So before I even got here, I already ate. So I'm doing an 18-hour fast right now.
Is that the sweet spot for you? 18 hours?
About 15 to 18.
Okay.
Because I used to be 220,
Yeah.
and now I'm 155.
Yeah, you're
So-
definitely not 220.
No. So it took me a long time to get to that, and a lot of trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
And diet is 80% of what I do. So,
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, it's 80% diet, 20% working out.
Yeah.
So you got to really stay on top of that.
Well, what's the next mile marker, man? I mean, you've crushed this crazy ultra marathon with the elevation and the hot temperatures. What are you ever going to do a run like that and the temperatures like that again?
I'm doing next year.
Oh my
What
God!
are you talking about? I
Same
already signed
race?
up for the next race.
Oh.
I got one in October. So yeah.
Well, October's all right, but we were just
Yeah.
talking like I'm done messing with this Texas.
No,
heat. Like,
I mean
I'm out.
I'm running 20 miles probably this Sunday. So
Oh God!
and I ran 14.3 last Sunday.
Yeah.
So yeah, no.
But are you training towards something bigger? Are you happy with what you've accomplished?
What I genuinely do, like I say, it's about a progression. So what I like to do is I like to master the pace that the distance that I do. So I'll probably stick to 50 Ks 2 or 3 times, and then by that time I will master it, and then it'll be 100K, and then it'll probably be either 200 or try.
As far as like the races you've done in the past, is there one particular one that really stands out that you feel like you grew the most in or that you learned the most from?
Yeah, the race right before this one, and I took this race. It's kind of like a shakeout race because I wanted to see where I was because I was already in my training camp. I was already training for the big race, but I could fit in another, I think it was a 15K in between it a month before the big race. So that would give me ample time to see where I'm at. And I was just going to go into it and have fun. And I ended up winning the whole thing.
Oh wow!
In my category. And my category was age group, I think it was like 18 to 53.
Wow!
And I got first out of all of them.
Wow!
And yeah, that's a huge age bracket.
Yes, it is. That's,
So-
I didn't know they. That's very wide.
And there's only a first place for the guys that I run with. So it's either first or nothing.
Ricky Bobby.
Pretty much,
You
basically.
might
Yeah.
smell that crispy.
Basically.
But in running, winning is obviously important, but it doesn't come often. It's more about finishing. So how did you feel about
Not
that?
for me. I want to
You want to try to win.
I'm
So what?
winning.
Yeah.
I'm gonna win.
How many have you won out of how many that you've
I don't know
done?
how many. I've won first in that one, second in another one. But I just transitioned into trail, so it's a little bit different than regular road races. It's a lot harder. It's little different categories and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
a lot.
I didn't even think about
I
that.
just
We're talking
pictured it
about
like
trails.
soccer. I picture, scores mean way more than like if you're playing basketball and you reach 100 points. So when you win a race where it's very difficult, how does that win make you feel? How does it
Oh my
motivate you?
gosh, man! You get like a huge runner's high, and you feel like you can fight Muhammad Ali after that, man.
Yeah.
And you just want to do it again. You just want to, it's like that next fix. Like I was down and out for maybe like 2 or 3 days after that, and then I was already looking for races, and I was like, man, let's just do this again. I can't wait.
Yeah. What's the coolest race you've ran, like location wise?
I'm actually the one I have coming up. I ran it last year. It's at Dinosaur Valley.
Oh, that's cool.
And man, it is so much fun. That is a gorgeous course. You run over dry lake beds and see all these dinosaur tracks and everything. It's a vibe, man.
That's wild.
It's sick. You can still sign up too. I highly recommend. Come on out.
Well, we're going to be following
October
you every
12th.
step of the way. On Instagram, it is Texas Mind, Body, and Spirit.
There you go.
And if you guys haven't followed him yet, please do so. This gentleman's got a lot of positivity to share with the world. He is 100% all the time, and I keep thinking it's going to motivate me to tighten up these shoes and go for a run. It hasn't yet, but I'm waiting, because if anybody's going to get me there, it's you.
I got you, man. When you're ready, I got you.
As we close these things out, is there anything else you want to tell people before we get out of here?
No, man. Well, everybody just keep building the best possible life that you can.
Yes.
That's what it's all about. We all go through some hard things, but just keep your head up, keep pushing forward, and don't let anything stop you.
I'm proud of you, brother.
Congratulations,
bro. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Guys, Brad at Boulevard Brew, here we are. Thank you so much for having us out and letting us do this thing. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Fort Worth Roots, we are all about supporting small businesses and connecting the community. So if you guys would follow us on social media, Instagram, we're active on all of them, but Instagram's my favorite right now. We have a counter right on top of that Coca-Cola machine. And if you follow us on Instagram right now, in fact, if you unfollow us on Instagram, that thing will flip up and down the number of followers that we have.
Andrew, it went up 3 since a while ago.
Yeah, since a while ago.
Yeah,
It keeps moving. So anyway, we are Fort Worth Roots on Instagram, and my brother over here, Sam, who, by the way, he was asking you some questions earlier, David, and I was just like, I wanted to give you like a thumbs up, like, damn, yeah, that was a good question, bro. That was good.
No, thank you. Andrew,
for being
thank
here.
you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to be your co-host. It was a great event, and I hope we can do it again sometime.
All right, and we should. David, don't hurt yourself out there. No more growing extra bones. No eating 12 dozen donuts, okay?
Man,
let's keep it inside reality. Let's just.
I'll try. I can't promise nothing, man. I can't promise nothing.
All right. To our live studio audience today, thank you guys very much for being here. It means a lot to us. It's one of those things that we talk about as creators, like how do we get people to come and hang out with us? But we really do just want to support the community and get to see you guys and hang out and talk and do the things that we used to do before COVID destroyed everything. So we're trying to rebuild that, and we want to do that with you. So thank you very, very much for being here. All right. We are out, and we will see you next week. All right. Thank you to our live studio audience there at Boulevard Brew, located off of River Oaks Boulevard, one of the sponsors of the Fort Worth Roots podcast. And I'm telling you, if you're looking for a low-key place to hang out, maybe get some work done, not be bothered by the general public, have a good coffee, good Wi-Fi connection, this is a really good place for that. If you're looking for an awesome place to do an event, this is a wonderful place for that. If you're looking for a good place on a Friday night to catch some live music here in River Oaks, Texas, that's another great spot for that. Go check them out, River Oaks Boulevard, and thank you to our friends over there for letting us use your space to record in front of a live studio audience. Big thank you to our buddy Sam at the Failed Podcast. Go to Instagram, check him out, _failed_podcast. This gentleman has been in our corner from the very beginning, and we appreciate you so much, Sam. Mr. Armstrong, dude, let's stop growing strange ankle bones, and don't let me catch you eating 12 dozen donuts. Wow. No, great episode. Inspirational to a point, also a little scary. I mean, doing this kind of damage to ourselves just for the sake of running. But everybody's got to have a hobby. We talked a little bit about it. I hope I didn't talk too much about it. Hey, I used to run too. Not like this guy. Not like this guy. There's a difference between these ultra marathoners and regular one-time marathoners like myself. Yeah, I gave it a go, tried it out, realized it wasn't for me. But you can catch David running the trails, the Trinity Trails, most days out of the week. He's still after it, pounding pavement, and making things happen. Y'all go check him out on the old Instagrams. You don't have to go running with him to enjoy what he's out there doing. It's Texas Mind, Body, and Spirit. And you just get good vibes anytime you go check out his Instagram. He's always doing something creative. He's very collaborative, works with the community, and it's very motivational. So check that out. Texas Mind, Body, and Spirit on the Instagrams. All right, we need to get into these sponsors. Y'all already heard about, well, did I even tell you about the Davis team? I don't remember if I did or not. Probably need to revisit that. I know I did the Aguilar thing. Let's talk about that Davis team. All right, so here's the deal. We need sponsors, but we don't want just any sponsors because you guys are important to me. You're number one. My community, our community here at the Fort Worth Roots podcast, we want to make sure that whenever we bring on a sponsor, it's somebody that we can all trust. So whenever you click on the Trusted Sponsors tab on the FortWorthRoots.com website, we want you to have the confidence that you have found yourself the person that you need to get things done. With all that being said, we were not going to bring on a real estate group or agent until the Davis team told us, yeah, let's do it. Here's why. They sold 2 homes for us in 2 totally separate markets. One house that they sold for us was in North Fort Worth, kind of Bailey Boswell Boat Club area, right? Way over there. The second house they sold for us was about 6 months ago. So first one, 2016, 2017, something like that. Maybe 2018. Anyway. So that one was 2018, North Fort Worth, over there, Bailey Boswell and Boat Club. The second one was 2024, about 6 months ago. No, it was April. So just recently in Weatherford. So 2 totally different climates, 2 totally different areas, and both times they did an exceptional job of managing our expectations, making sure that we knew what our house was actually valued at and how we could get it sold. I've worked with other agents in the past, and I can tell you that there is an extreme difference in reality between certain agents. You know, you can get any agent you want, and they've got access to the MLS, and they can do the realtor thing. But if you don't want your house to, unfortunately, sit on the market for 6 months without anybody even looking at it, you need to find yourself a competent agent with all the connections and all the information for the industry. And the Davis team checks off every single one of those blocks. Go check them out. It is yourdavisteam.com. Also on Instagram, you can find them as the Davis team. And they're happy to answer questions for you, too. You don't need to go and have them sell a house, buy a house for you. If you just have questions, they are an asset when it comes to tax information regarding your properties or whatever. If it's property related, these experts over there can help you out. So check them out. yourdavisteam.com. Galaxy Wilderness Disc Golf. You can get them on the phone at 682-228-0399. Galaxy Wilderness is dedicated to promoting disc golf to the masses for its health benefits through outdoor therapy, exercise, and camaraderie. Go check them out on Facebook. It is Galaxy Wilderness Disc Golf. My buddy Joe over there set this thing up to get people from all physical ability groups active and doing something outside. Great guy, great company. They will take these disc golf baskets, bring them to any location, set them up for you, let you have your fun. They got all the equipment you need. And then whenever you're done, they come out, they break it all down for you. This could be at a business retreat, a camp thing, whatever. You fill in the blank. But Joe can bring out the stuff and set this up for you. It's a great, fun, easy thing for people of all ability groups, levels, whatever, to enjoy the outdoors and get engaged with each other. So check that out. Galaxy Wilderness Disc Golf on Facebook. Again, that number is 682-228-0399. Pouring Glory, where we're going to have our October 5th event, is located at 1001 Bryan Avenue, Fort Worth, Texas, just off South Main Street and I-35, 1 block north of Rosedale. They got craft beer and award-winning food, and we're going to have live music out there October 5th. But you can come any old day of the week. They got Dog Park Sunday. They got something going on every Saturday. Check them out on Instagram. It's Pouring Glory right here in Fort Worth. And if you haven't been there yet, you are missing out. This place has been in business for 9 years now. And just like everybody else, they're constantly struggling to keep the doors open. They need your patronage. And when you go in there, if it's your first time, and you try that food out, you'll realize real quick, we don't want this place going anywhere. We love Pouring Glory. We love the staff out there, and we want them to succeed, not because of the fact that they're sponsors. I've known these folks for years before we got them to sponsor the Fort Worth Roots podcast. So genuinely, we want this place to succeed, and once you go there, you'll understand why. And it's also a Fort Worth musicians hub. Like almost everybody that I know that plays music here in Fort Worth has at one time or another played on the stage out there at Pouring Glory. Got to keep places like this going. 1001 Bryan Avenue. Go check them out. Again, on Instagram as Pouring Glory. McFly's Pub. We love this place. It's a 1980s Back to the Future themed bar, just like Pouring Glory. I was going here for years before they started sponsoring the show. Very impressive outdoor area, fire pit. Hang out and bring some friends for pool, darts, cornhole, jumbo Jenga, and catch a live event. Local musicians on stage multiple times every week. Always something going on. Tuesday nights, they got their Tommy Luke and Dippy Dog? Open mic out there Tuesdays, every Tuesday with Tommy Luke. So check that out. Go to their thing, their Instagram, McFly's Pub. They also just started doing a Wednesday night pool tournament. I think it starts at 6:30. Everybody's welcome. Come check it out. Where else? What else we got here? Y'all know about Amplify 817. We talk about these guys ad nauseum. We're excited about Amplify 817 because they pay the artist up front. Our homies are out there trying to make a living off of their art, and it's rough out there for an artist. But Amplify817.org, where you can go and you can stream music uninterrupted by commercials for free. You can go to Amplify817.org and you can look by artist, by playlist. By the way, Fort Worth Roots has a playlist up there. It's just a great hub to find local music here in the Fort Worth area. And it's not just Fort Worth. These people are, kind of the greater Fort Worth area. But they do play here in Fort Worth, Texas. So check them out. That is Amplify817.org. And as far as city organizations, I don't know of anything else in Fort Worth, the city of, that is doing more good for our local musicians than this organization right here. They need your love. They need your respect. Go give them give them a look. And you can find them on Instagram as Amplify817. Woodpost Metalworks, woodpostmetalworks.com. Offer code podcast817 will get you 10% off at checkout. They specialize in metal signs with or without LED backlighting, fence and gate repair or installation, light steel fabrication, industrial plasma cutting, and more. Houck Walker Originals, go to houckwalker.com. They offer a huge variety of unique and personalized gifts, also laser engraving to customize just about anything you can think of. Roofing Solutions by Darren Houck, our OG homie that's been putting on the River Oak Springfest Car Show for the last 2 years, is a sponsor of the Fort Worth Roots podcast, and this family, the Houck family, has been very good to the Fort Worth Roots podcast. But that family, the Houck family, has also been taking care of our neighbors' roofs for a very, very long time. I believe Darren has been doing it for 15 years, has been putting roofs on here in the Fort Worth area for the last 15 years. But before that, his father did it, and I think it was called City Roofing, and his dad put roofs on houses out here. So it's in their blood, man. It's a family thing. And if you go and you look at their ratings, because why would you listen to a silly podcaster? Roofing Solutions by Darren Houck has a sterling reputation in our community. And it's not something that you can say about most roofing companies. But the reason, things happen. People make mistakes. But you need to find a reputable company that cares about their rating. And what that means is that if you have an issue with the repairs that are done on your roof, they're going to come back and they're going to fix it. It doesn't matter if they got an 817 number on the side of their truck. It doesn't matter if they look local. You need to find somebody like Roofing Solutions by Darren Houck that is actually part of the community and will be here next time you need somebody to look at your roof. So give them a look. They're on the internets as roofingsolutionsHouck.com, and you can reach them at 817-882-6520. Call them and tell them you heard about it on the Fort Worth Roots podcast. They will give you 50% off a roofing tune-up. And if you don't know what that is and you own a home, listen, these North Texas roofs take a beating. We get hail, high winds, and tornadoes, and the high temperatures. All of this spells murder for your roof. So you need somebody up there annually just to take a look, seal up pipe jacks, make sure there's nothing crazy going on, and save yourself potentially thousands of dollars. Because if there's a point of entry for water, it's going to get in there. So get a qualified roofer on that roof. Roofing Solutions by Darren Houck can get up there and take a look, seal things up. It's called a roof inspection. Roofing tune-up. 817-882-6520. Mention Fort Worth Roots. Get 50% off. Yes, sir. Flurry Fitness, located over here behind that Waffle House across from the military base. Same parking lot as Target. And this is an excellent place to get in shape, learn a little bit on how to punch a punching bag. They've got a full-scale gym, but they also have a giant boxing ring that you can utilize, and they got a full staff of trainers at Flurry Fitness that can help you get into that summer bod, help you get in shape. And let's be honest, folks, I'm almost 40 years old. You need a little bit of time to get ready for that summer bod. So here we are. It's almost October. It's time to start now getting ready for next summer. So you want to get some fat off of the love handles. You want to start working on getting yourself back in shape. Let's start now. That way, come next April, May, you're ready. You're ahead of the power curve, okay? So check these guys out. Flurry Fitness is great. You know, if you've listened to the show for a while, we've had other fitness companies that have sponsored the show in the past. The thing that sets Flurry Fitness apart from other sponsors that we've had, they have a very broad schedule. If you need to go in at 7 a.m., they got a class for you. If you need to go, 7 p.m., they got a class for you. So check them out online. Find them on Instagram as Flurry Fitness Fort Worth, and see what kind of cool stuff they got going on there. Lots of really cool videos from some of their regulars and some of their coaches, and Andy, the owner out there, who's been on the show twice now. We love these folks out there at Flurry Fitness, and that's where we work out now. Don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. Go to thebodyscrubbery.com. They have a Book Now tab. You can click on that and get in there for a luxury foot spa, full body scrub, infrared heat wrap, massage, bubble tub soak, mud wraps, facials, couples packages, and small group parties. Check this place out, man. It's really awesome. It's over there close to Pouring Glory. You can check them out on Instagram and TikTok as the Body Scrubbery and see this beautiful little boutique style spa they've got set up over there. Michelle, the owner, is an absolute joy to be around. And if you're looking for an awesome gift idea, look no further than the Body Scrubbery. Check them out online, like I said, thebodyscrubbery.com. Eaton Data Solutions. Go to EatonDataSolutions.com. Your information is not safe, and these pirates, these internet vandals, these people that will go out there, get your information, encrypt your files, and then try to sell you a password. You've heard about this stuff, but it's usually like IBM or these large companies that, lots and lots of money involved with that. So you kind of almost expect that. Well, it's adapted. And these internet pirates, they're out there stealing people's data and encrypting folks' files and holding them hostage. Now, medium and small businesses. Eaton Data Solutions saw this because our friend at Eaton Data Solutions, Mr. Eaton himself, works for a Fortune 500 business that takes care of these larger companies. And he saw this being a problem for smaller companies, and he's like, wait a minute, who's taking care of the medium and small businesses? Well, nobody was. So he started Eaton Data Solutions, and it's a bigger problem than I would have thought. I'm scared. So if you have one of these businesses, come on over to EatonDataSolutions.com. They've got services, plans, all the information that you need. They can give you a consultation, and they can check into your system and find and identify certain areas of vulnerability and teach your staff, your crew, how to avoid becoming one of the victims of online pirates. I call them that. I don't know if that's what they're actually called, but they'll steal your data. It's not good. You'll lose everything. A big thank you to all of our sponsors. Whenever we put on a show for the community, if you see Fort Worth Roots next to a live show, it's been paid for by these sponsors. And so we encourage you guys to go to our website, FortWorthRoots.com, hit the Trusted Sponsors tab, and see if we've got something there for you. Lots of different places for gift ideas, a few different places to hang out. We've got a roofer, we've got a real estate agent, and we are looking for more awesome vendors, more awesome sponsors, more awesome local business owners that want to help us make these shows bigger and better for you and put more artists on stages around Fort Worth. So if you know somebody, tell somebody. You can find us at media@fortworthroots.com. That's our email. Let us know if you have any questions, if you need any information. We'd love for you guys to come out and support us as we throw this event benefiting Cook Children's Hospital. For every person that shows up and signs up for our internet, our email mailing list, we're going to donate $5 back to Cook Children's Hospital. This event is October 5th. It goes from noon till 10 o'clock. And we're going to have 6 badass bands on stage, a huge vendor market. 2 blocks are going to be shut down right there at Pouring Glory, located at 1001 Bryan Avenue. And we need you guys to come out and have fun with us. That's all. You don't have to spend a dime. Of course, we want you to support Pouring Glory. We want you to check out these vendors and see what kind of cool stuff they got. Great time to start shopping for those early Christmas presents or gift ideas for anything else. Basically, just get out of the house and come have some fun with us. The weather's going to be great. I'm looking at the weather report right now. It's going to be somewhere in between 87, 90 degrees October 5th. So it's going to be a fun day out, hanging out, enjoying community, live music, and we'd love to see you. So make sure if you do come out, come on up to me. My name is Andrew, if you don't know already, and we'd love to take a picture with you next to the banner. It's always fun getting out and meeting new folks, and it's going to be a great day. We do this once a year. One time a year we do this big event supporting a 501c. Last year we did Cook Children's Hospital as our 501c, and this year we're doing it again. There's so many good people doing so many good things and so many excellent 501cs out there. But I've seen Cook Children's work. I've seen them in action. And so whenever I'm trying to find a 501c that I want Fort Worth Roots to help, it's hard for me to see past Cook Children's. We're going to do more for more 501cs in the future. We're just excited that we've gotten to the point where we can actually make a difference with even one 501c3. So in the future, hopefully, definitely, we'll be able to, help out some more 501cs in the area. So anyway, put it on your calendar, October 5th at Pouring Glory from noon to 10 o'clock. And I hope that we get to see you out there. Man, I hope I didn't forget anything. It's been a haul. Big announcements coming up, really big announcements. So stay tuned for that. We did have a delay in services. If you look at our catalog, there was a few weeks there where we did not drop an episode. But wanted to make sure and get this one out to you as quick as possible. I've got one other thing. I got to find a voicemail for you real quick. This gentleman's name is Roy Davis. And we're going to have to get him on the show. There's a lot of details, and I don't know what to tell you and what not to tell you, so we're going to have to get him on the show. But he did leave us a voicemail, and here we go.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to get a hold of that Fort Worth Roots podcast on account of I'm in Fort Worth. And I'm just wondering if y'all let a feller do a podcast or have a podcast or whatever in the heck is a podcast, because I've been told I got to do my social media. And it don't get no more social than a podcast. And I just wonder what that might take to happen. All right, well, in the meantime, you do your social medias real good so you get lots of followers.
All right, Roy Davis. And you got to say it like that, too, I've been told. It's not just Roy Davis. It is Roy Davis. So, you've met this guy. You might even recognize that voice. But it's not that guy. It's another guy, and his name is Roy Davis. I know it's confusing. We're going to get him on the show. Anyway, thank y'all so much for being a part of today's episode. If y'all have any questions for me, you can always hit me up on social media. It's Fort Worth Roots on everything, TikTok, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Email is media@fortworthroots.com. And yeah, I know, I repeat myself a lot, and I stumble across my words. Whew. All right. That is it for this week. I really feel like I'm missing something, but I'm looking forward to talking to you in just a few days. We got another episode to crank out and smooth out the whole Fort Worth Roots podcast. It's been in a state of flux, but that big announcement we got coming up is going to fix all that. So, all right. Again, thank you for listening, and we will see you next week. Peace.